All right, guys, your essential question for today is how do we solve logarithmic equations and apply logarithms to the real world problems? And so remember, this is not going to be on your quiz, but it will be on your test later. All right, so let's take a look at an example right quick. And let's see what I got here. Let's see, there's the mouse. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so let's take a look at this slide right quick. This is very important that you understand this. You can only cross out the logs when there is one log on the left side and one log on the right side. So if you notice, remember the warm-up that we just did a second ago, if you notice right here, I've got log base 6 and log base 6. Because there's one log on the left side and one log on the right side, you can cross those logs out. However, look below here at the bottom. You see this log base 5, this log base 5, this log base 5? You cannot cross out all of these, even though it's very tempting to cross them all out. Because if you notice, how many logs do you have on the left-hand side? 2, right? So you can't just cross those out. That is not a rule. That's not legal. What you have to do is what we learned yesterday. You have to condense. Now, if you didn't get yesterday's lesson, it's okay. There's a video for it, and it's called Properties of Logs. But that's why I had to teach you how to condense yesterday, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using that today. All right, so don't worry about this example, but go ahead, and here's your first one. Take a second and write down this example right here. All right, guys, so to solve this problem, here's what you would do. You would need to condense the left-hand side. So I'm going to condense this, and I'm going to say log base 5. I'm going to multiply the x times the 16, so that'll give me 16x. So I'm going to have log base 5 of 16x equals log base 5 of 25. And because these have the same base, and there's one log on the left, one log on the right, you can cross them out. You get 16x equals 25, and then you can solve that for x. You get 25 over 16, and that would be your answer for that problem. All right, let's take a look at another example. Go ahead and take a second and write this one down. All right, so to solve this problem, you would still condense. So we're going to condense the left-hand side. So this is subtraction, so I'm going to rewrite that as division. So you'd have log base 10. You don't have to put a 10 there if you don't want to. X plus 4 divided by 5 equals log base 2. The logs are cross out, so you'll get x plus 4 over 5 is equal to 2. The way I like to solve this is just put this over 1, cross multiply, so I get x plus 4 is equal to 10, and then subtract 4, so you get x is equal to 6. And that will be my answer for that problem. And that's perfect for that. All right, for your next one, go ahead and take a second and write this one down. All right, for this one, you would also have to condense. So that's exactly what we're going to do first, but we're going to condense this left-hand side. So I'm going to distribute that 8, and that's going to give me log base 6 of 8x minus 32 is equal to 2. But if you notice, there's no logs to cross out. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rewrite this as base 6 power 2 equals 8x minus 32. So I get 36 equals 8x minus 32. Add 32, that gives me 68 equals to 8x. And divide by 8, your calculator will reduce that down to 17 over 2. And that will be your answer for that problem. Very good, guys. Very proud of you. All right, let's take a look at another example. And so here it is. Done, but obviously you got it right. All right, to solve this problem, what you would do is you'd have to condense the left side, and so you'd rewrite this as multiplication. So you'd have log base 4 of 3x minus the 3 equals to 3. You probably didn't get stumped here, but there's nothing to cross out, so you've got to rewrite. So you did 4 to the third equals 3x minus 3. You got a big number, 64, and then I know you added 3 to both sides, so you get 67 is equal to 3x, and there is your answer. So proud of y'all. Y'all did really, really well. That's perfect. Okay, all right, now let's talk about some real-world applications of this. So take a second, and don't write down the word problem, but take a second and write down this formula right there. All right, so for this problem, it talks about the altitude of an aircraft is in part affected by the outside air pressure. And so this equation right here represents the altitude of your plane dependent upon what the outside air pressure is compared to the normal air pressure. So if I want to know the height of a plane, I would simply put in negative 100 over 9 times log of, in this case, I want to know what the altitude is when the air pressure is 10.3 pounds per square inch outside with a normal air pressure of 14.7. If you type this in, you would get approximately 1.7, and so that means that my airplane is approximately 1.7 miles up in the air, and that would be the answer for that. All right, last one. Take a second and write this one down. All right, so for this scenario, what I have here is that the amount that I want to end up with is $2,000. So I'm going to say that's the amount accrued. So I'm going to have $2,000 equals not $2,000. How much do I want to end up with? $10,000. Dang it, I'm going backwards. All right, so I want to end up with $10,000, and then I'm going to start off with $2,000. And then this is 1 plus, my interest rate is 4.5% to the T. Okay. And so that's just me setting it up. So there's your first step, just setting up the numbers, put them in the right place. Here's your second step. What I would do next is I would divide both sides by 2,000. So go ahead and write that down. And grab your calculator. You can do this without your calculator. What's 10,000 divided by 2,000? 5. So just put down 5. So 10,000 divided by 2,000 is 5. And then that crosses out. And that leaves me 1 plus 4.5% to the T. So that's not an S, guys. My bad. That's a 5. Okay? All right, here's my next step. What I want you to do is I want to know what this is right here. 1 plus 4.5%. So let's type that into our calculator right quick. And I've got mine right here. So let's type in what 1 plus 4.5, and do you remember how to do the percent symbol? Go here to question mark, put the percent symbol, so you see 1 plus 4.5%, hit enter, y'all see it right there, 1.045, alright, so that's what that is. So this is 1.045, so I'll have 5 is equal to 1.045 to the T. Alright, so in order to solve this for T, and you see the T is an exponent, what I'm going to do to both sides is I'm going to put log. I'm going to put log on both sides. The reason why you do that is because when you do that, this variable T is going to come down in front. And so here's what I'm going to have. I'm going to have log of 5 equals T times log of 1.045. And you want to solve this for T, so how do you undo multiplication right here? Divide. So divide both sides by log 0.1045. And this is going to give me my answer. So I need to be able to, can we type this into my calculator? And let me write that down. So that's log 5 over log of 1.045. Guys, what's the understood base on both of those, even though it's not there? What's the number right there? Do I have to put that 10 there if I don't want to? Nah, you can leave it blank. All right, so let's do this. Let's go grab my calculator, and let's put this in my calculator. So make sure you got it there. Log 5 over log of 1.045. And you're going to type this into the calculator just like this. Alright, so I'm going to put it up here on the calculator screen right quick. So first make you a fraction. Hit Control Divide, and then make you log. So hit Control 10 to the X. If you don't want to put a 10 there, you don't have to. You can leave it blank. But in this box, put a 5. Okay? Then go down, and then do again, Control log. If you don't want to put a 10 there, you don't have to, but in this box, put 1.045. So just like that, and then I want you to hit enter. And there's your answer right there, 36.5, and that will be my year.